Welcome back. Developing our young people is something that's always been close to my heart. So I went down to Knowle West Media Center to find out what their projects are all about. James, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing, Zeeks?
I'm good, thank you, my brother. So tell me about what you do here at Knowle West Media Center.
So I'm the XLR program coordinator at Knowle West Media Center, and basically that means that I run the music program that we have on a weekly basis, but I also manage the music studio and any music related sessions in schools as well. So there's sort of a whole bunch of different things that are covered within my role.
Okay, and that's working with the young people of Bristol?
Yeah. So we work with young people in the centre all the way from 9 years old to 25. Okay. Across various different programs. So I work with any young people that we can, basically. So most of them are local, but quite a lot are sort of from other bits of Bristol that have been interested in what we're doing as well.
Okay, brilliant. So what kind of things do you do here? Because I know you've done festivals, different youth events. Tell me a little bit about one of the festivals that you do.
So XLR Festival started in 2010, and it's an annual celebration of music. It started off as a hip-hop festival, and it's expanded since then. Yeah. From this year onwards, what we're going to be doing is taking it on the road as well. So the young people now have something called XLR Sessions, which is weekly, and the idea is that it's music development. So they're understanding a bit more about how the music scene works as a whole, understanding how they can have careers within it as well. And we've also got some amazing project partners, the likes of Remix, Colston Hall, Trinity, Ace Academy and so on. So we're all working together in partnership, trying to give young people the best experience they possibly can.
That's brilliant. So a lot going on.
There's tons going on, yeah.
So yourself as a musician, you've done a lot and do a lot yourself.
Yeah, I do.
So tell me a little bit about what you do.
So my kind of alias is Vice, and I'm a producer. I started out as an MC, but I'm mainly on the production front now. I have a community studio that's in St. Paul's that I run, so I work with young people. I'm a mentor for Temple Records, so I do one-to-one support with some of the artists there. Okay. And I'm part of a group called Delegates of Grime, and I produce with lots of different artists, both locally and further afield. It's predominantly hip-hop, but there's also soul and funk and various other elements tied in there as well.
Sounds.
Yeah. Keeps it interesting.
It does.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the studio in St. Paul's?
Street Soul Studios.
Okay.
So I set that up back in October 2013.
Yeah.
Got some Kickstarter funding for it as well to get a bit more equipment, and it's also supported by Rotary.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of different artists who use it, teaching one-to-one things like bass, vocals, music production, all sorts of different things, and ranging from adults with learning difficulties to younger teens who just have an interest in what they're doing, and private sessions as well. So
really good.
It's not only for the young people, it's also for artists to have a creative space that they can work in.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. So obviously funding these projects can be challenging at different times. So what is one of the most challenging things for yourself putting these projects together?
I think on our side, so our project XLR is funded by Youth Music, who are an amazing organisation, and they've helped us a lot in the past. Yeah. I think one of the main things is taking a project from paper and turning it into reality, and trying to keep that project on track throughout, because you can guess what kind of young people you're going to meet, but most likely they're going to be completely different to what you're expecting to come through. And I think with projects like this, we were expecting young people where it'd be a case of they've been in the industry for years, they know what they're doing, they're at that stage where they want to take the next step. But actually, we're working with young people who, some of them, it's the first time they picked up an instrument, and it's a very different experience. And we love the fact that it's like that, it's very fluid. Yeah. And there's an amazing team that I'm working with as well, from Bim, who covers live sampling, Josh, who's an amazing trumpeter, Sophie, who's an amazing guitarist, and Sam, who's a great drummer. And our team works very well. And I think that it's those kind of things, you need that fluidity. That biggest challenge is not being static. and kind of always being perceptive to what the young people want and changing the project potentially completely in order to suit their needs.
Suit the needs.
Yeah, that's always hard.
Well, we have to stay flexible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%.
So James, for the people that are tuning in now and, you know, wanting to get involved and, you know, they may have a studio at home, what would you say are 5 top tips for production that you can give?
So I think one of the main things is, I've found this over years, is mixing.
Yeah.
Mixing's key to everything.
Of course.
Doesn't matter whether it's music, film, whatever. So, and one of the things that I suggest to all my students, whoever it is listening on the different systems. So I listen in my car, I listen on my rubbish headphones, I listen on my amazing headphones,
All
my
speakers.
studio monitors, yeah.
I do that the same when I'm doing my stuff.
So I think that's one of the key things. I think the second one is benchmark off other artists.
Okay.
So if there's anyone who you really look up to, it's not a bad thing to almost try and recreate a song piece by piece to understand how they've done that.
Okay.
I think that helps a lot.
Of course.
I think it's good as well to try and create a little bit of a musical family, like get yourself out there, whether it's acoustic nights, like so just doing an open mic here or there, or if you're an MC going out and just doing some cyphers. I mean, Bristol's a thriving musical community. There's always opportunities, irrespective of age and style and everything. I think the other thing as well that people forget a lot is practice. It doesn't matter. But a lot of people, they'll have an instrument and it's a case that I practice every day for 3 hours, but when it comes to production or MCing, they won't, you know, or vocalists and that side of things. And I think that's one of the key things is you need to be able to practice those skills and get better at that just as much as you do with anything else.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I'm still busy with life. I write for Wordplay magazine, I've got my studio, I work at Knowle West Media Center.
Okay.
And I'm doing all of my own music, but I still try and make time to improve my skills. I'll still go on YouTube and skill up.
Where do you actually find time to do all of this stuff?
Midnight, 2, 3 in the morning, all that side of things. It's
burning the candles at both ends,
definitely. I don't think there's any candle left, but it's but yeah, it's. I think one of the main things is have fun with it. It's not for everyone making music. It gets tough. The industry is difficult, irrespective of the genre you're making, and to be honest, I think if you're not enjoying it, it's not necessarily the right thing for you. And the main thing to focus on is the music and not the money. You know, I've met so many young people that are like, oh, I want to get paid for gigs, or I want to get paid for session work, or this, that, and the other. And it's like, look, you need to be able to focus on something else in your life to bring money in, to enable you to make music and do what you need to do. So I think there's that side that's really important, and you have to be able to focus on those elements and the enjoyment and the passion of it more than anything else. Yeah, I think that they're my 5 top tips.
That's brilliant. Well, you heard it from James. It's peak 5 top tips on production. James, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks, Zeke.
Have a great
one.
day.
And you.
Cool.
Hi, I'm back. Okay, by now you should be able to breathe. I was going to say sing, but to breathe properly. The next thing we're going to do is control. So we need to be able to control that breath. So what I want you to do is hiss. So I want you to breathe in, as I showed you, with the diaphragm, and then keep your tongue flat and hiss. But keep the hiss constant, and I want you to do it for 30 seconds without stopping. And then do it again. So 3 times, 30 seconds, okay? And that's your exercise for the week. This is for control, remember? So if you can hiss for 30 seconds, technically you could hold your breath or sing a note for 30 seconds. Okay, run away and go and practice. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
I put in so much work in my life, sometimes I feel I get no credit, then I check it. Most of the work you wouldn't see or receive any rewards in the form of credit. Don't sweat it. Anything you want, you're going to get it. People's going to bring you negativity. It doesn't make you forget it. You listen anyway, but just make sure you don't project it. Got to get your life and protect it from the enemy. Incubus, succubus entities. Your energy, yeah, they will try to take it. They will try to make it in a living now. Friggin' out. Go somewhere else with that and project it. Tell me I'm pathetic. And I won't get nowhere in life hoping I'd accept it, but you gon' regret it. Brethren, you just don't get it. Yes, it's in my genetics to see from my third eye. Ain't hypothetically speaking a word I speak of, a term I learnt from the first day I breathed on the earth in physical form. Mystical thought leads me to see from a bird's eye view. You can try as hard as you wanted to creep up the stern vibes, but the vessel will beam and then words rhyme. Instantly words fly out my mouth attempting to put in the word right. INDIGO, children of the world rise, because the earth cries out for your help. Right now it's a cursed time has emerged, so it's your birthright to give it to them 100%. Don't miss out, the words right. It's peak, unplugged. You heard right.
So if you want to get involved, just check out the details on screen. Big thanks to all of the artists who came through on this episode. Though on next episode, we've got reggae, we've got R&B, we got more spoken word, and you may even get a peak performance from myself. So make sure you tune in and keep it peak, unplugged.